Once again, it is your friend Arachnid Soul coming at you today talking about AEW All Elite Wrestling. And it is this Wednesday night, March 3rd, 2021. We're going to see exactly what AEW can do. We're going to see exactly what AEW is all about. We're going to sit and we're going to watch a massive main event, and I want to take every bit of irony or sarcasm out of my voice when I say this. I'm excited for this match. It's going to be Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet to take on Jade Cargill and Shaquille O'Neal. We don't know if this is going to be a tag team match. We really don't know anything here, but the thing we do know is this match has been very hyped, very publicized. AEW is trying to reach out to the greater pool of wrestling fans, and I know people don't like when I say this. Most of the wrestling fans are not watching wrestling anymore. AEW, from what I understand, they're doing about 900,000 to 1 million viewers a week. You compare that to back in the day with Nitro and Raw, I think there was something like between 30 and maybe 55 million people watching wrestling every week, which means most of the fans are fans outside AEW. But here on TNT, here on a major network, you have one night AEW to bring those fans back with serious professional wrestling. The comedy stuff, the goofy stuff, the stuff that doesn't make sense, the stuff that is not quite ready for TV in terms of putting wrestlers on that have not had proper training. Maybe they haven't even made it through a wrestling dojo. Very few of them are New Japan Young Lions, but this has to be the night. You've spent the money on Sting. You've got the Big Show coming in. You've got Taz. You've got Brian Cage. You have people who have been other places. Maybe take Brian Cage off the list, even though he was an Impact. You have people who have been other places, who've been major stars, who know what draws in pro wrestling and what does not. There is no excuse. This is the night. This is the night where we're going to find out if AEW can make that jump, if they can get over the 1 million views. I feel like they will get over 1 million views with this. I don't think it's going to be much higher than that. I mean, I feel like the same people watch AEW every week. I feel like in a year and a half of AEW Dynamite, they really have not been able to attract new fans. And as we've seen previously, they've put AEW Dynamite on right after NBA games on TNT, and you've had outside of pro wrestling fans tuning in to see pro wrestling, and the NBA fans, the larger group of people, mocked AEW, laughed at AEW, could not make sense out of AEW. That's a problem that AEW needs to fix for this Wednesday night. It's Shaquille O'Neal on a network that airs NBA games. If on just one night AEW can avoid screwing this up, this might really help them out in the immediate future. Now, obviously, AEW could have put this match between Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet against Jade and Shaq on pay-per-view. The clear reason that they did not, to their credit, and it was smart, is because you're not going to get NBA fans who don't watch AEW to spend the money on a pay-per-view, but maybe you can bring them in with Dynamite, and if they like what they see, they'll stick with Dynamite week after week. You raise the ratings, and then you take those people over to being pay-per-view buyers. I'm not sure, again, what this match is going to be, because let's talk about the people in this match. Cody Rhodes, great. Cody Rhodes can talk to some degree, and Cody Rhodes is pretty good in the ring. I understand just the grandson of a plumber, if you will. Red Velvet, I have never seen, I've never heard of her, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She's filling in for Cody's wife, Brandi Rhodes, who is now at home pregnant, and they will take on Shaquille O'Neal, who I don't know if he has any professional wrestling training. He was a great athlete in the NBA, aside from those 3-point shots. And his tag team partner will be, from what I understand, another basketball player, an amateur basketball player in Jade Cargill, who, again, I don't know if she's had any wrestling training. I don't know if she has 2 left feet. Why this would be the match that you want to put in front of people, aside from Shaq being a big draw, it doesn't make sense. Are these the other 2 people who should be in this match? Red Velvet and Jade Cargill. What if it had been, I don't know, Shaq and some other person people would be interested in versus Cody Rhodes and maybe Chris Jericho, or somebody who people have seen before and they know? Again, with Cody, you have to remember, for people who haven't watched wrestling, for the mainstream wrestling audience, the bigger audience that people ignore, they might not have seen Cody ever. Maybe they haven't watched in 10 or 20 years. The big problem that I'm fearing, and AEW when it started had the goal of being an alternative to WWE, but there is one cornerstone thing you have to figure out when you start an independent wrestling organization or a larger professional wrestling organization, and that decision at the onset has to be, will this be a league that sells the sizzle or the steak? Will this be a league that hypes things up and that's the focus, but then the match isn't as good? Whereas if you were selling the steak, it would mean maybe the hype's just as good, maybe not, but that match is going to deliver. So this Wednesday night, this is a big night for AEW. They will continue to run this experiment. Can they bring back the larger group of professional wrestling fans? And will that group tune in to see whatever this is supposed to be on a professional wrestling program? Also, if it's me, this match is clearly the main event. But if that's the case, that means new fans who are not conditioned to the Rocky Horror Picture Show style of wrestling that is AEW will have to sit through almost 2 hours of Joey Janela and Orange Juice Cassidy and all of the goofy, nonsensical stuff just to get to this main event. How many people are going to make it? Now, it's just my feeling, and if I'm wrong, please come back and correct me in a couple of days. I think this match is going to be a complete disaster if it's a match. And if it's not a match, maybe it'll be a little bit better, but people are going to be very disappointed. I wish the best for any actual professional wrestling company anywhere on the globe. For everybody in AEW, I hope you're getting the most amount of money that you can out of management and out of Tony Khan, who's the son of a multi-billionaire. And in the meantime, enjoy the ride. Tune in this Wednesday night, March 3rd, 2021, if you are a wrestling fan or if you're someone who watched professional wrestling during the Monday Night War era. Tune in. This is what AEW wrestling is all about, and we're going to get to run that experiment to see if there is a larger group of fans who would want to tune in week after week to watch this type of quote-unquote pro wrestling, which is a combination of pro wrestling that you cannot take seriously because they sandwich it in constantly with goofy, nonsensical stuff. But what do I know? Maybe there's a larger audience for it, and maybe it's not just going to do slightly over 1 million people. In any case, leave your comments down below, but don't fight. Keep it nice. It has been your friend Arachnid Soul coming at you once again. And I say thank you, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you later.